but we also, sorry, there was another point I was going to bring. So do you think this is happening because there's a lack of transparency in some countries? Because take the example of Portugal, for instance, they do every month CEF, which is like the International Service of Estrangeiros e Fronteiras, every month publish the number of residencies given and nationalities. I think Malta is also very good at giving that information. Yeah. Do you think other member states maybe could be a bit more transparent? What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there are those two countries that you mentioned. So the SEF in Portugal and the Office of the Regulator of the GCES in Malta.
In Malta, yeah.
They're very good at releasing reports. So in Portugal, the SEF does it every single month. In Malta, they do it once a year, but it's a huge 78-page report full of details, so full disclosure. Those are kind of the best-in-class examples for that type of transparency. I think that there are typically three criticisms that are levied against investment migration, three categories. They fall into one of three baskets. So one is the moral argument, which is,
of course.
Wealth shouldn't buy privilege at all. That's kind of a philosophical question. And if people disagree with that, it's kind of, if people think that people with money shouldn't have any privileges, like if they shouldn't be able to stay in nicer hotel rooms or fly business class, whatever. Sure, we can have that discussion. I disagree. That's a philosophical question. The second argument is the security argument. So, there's a back door into Europe. It's really not a back door. It's the front door.
It's the front door.
It's the front door, and it's like all the lights there, all the cameras, right? Red carpet, front, definitely the front door, right? The back door would be like, if you really want the back door into Europe, you can pay some Lithuanian student to marry you, right? And get in that way. It's much easier, far fewer controls. And then the third argument is the one having to do with a lack of transparency. It's opaque, right? And that's the one where I would say it holds water a little bit. Like there is some merit to that argument. And it's also the one that's the easiest for investment migration itself to fix by being more transparent, right? So we could just be more transparent and then take away that argument. But right now, I think we're not being transparent enough, and that gives ammunition to our critics, I would say. And so there are some good examples. SEF is an excellent example here in Portugal. In Malta, they do a good job, although not the residency program of Malta is not the same. Then in the Caribbean, Antigua used to do a good job. They're not releasing any statistics for the last 2 years, so I'm very disappointed at that. I've requested it a number of times. Grenada does a pretty good job, at least on the number side, although they say nothing about the nationalities. And then, St. Lucia does probably the best job in the Caribbean. They do a once a year thing. But then there are many, many programs that don't release any statistics at all, and that's a big shame.
And that's,